Welcome everybody to Apple Insider. It is Andrew here and I have my iPhone 13. I'm going to walk you through dozens upon dozens of great cases for your new iPhone 13. Whether you got one at launch, whether you got one last week, or whether you're going to get one for the holidays, you need a case for it. And here are my favorite ones. The first case we're checking out is from Pela? I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce it, but the case is awesome regardless. So this case is entirely eco-friendly. It's made from this natural material using recycled materials, and it can be entirely broken down when you are done using it. You can go ahead and throw it in your home compost, use your city's composting program, or you can send it back to Pela and they will compost it for you. So there is no waste. And these things come in ultra minimal packaging, which is basically what you're looking at here, with just a small little insert on the inside telling you thank you for the case and what you can do when you are done with it. I absolutely love that. So this is an entirely flexible case. You can see here it is flexible. On the back we have this insert, which right now doesn't do anything, but it leaves kind of the ability to possibly put in inserts in the future, maybe paving the way for some MagSafe support, but we don't know anything yet, just something that I'm kind of hoping to see, because right now this does not support MagSafe. So here's our iPhone 13 with the Pela case on, and I really like the look. I'm not sure if I would have put the blue on the red in this situation, but I really like the case in general. Buttons are very tactile and easy to press. They are elevated on the outside, so they do have like that raised design, which makes it a little bit easier to feel as you go down the sides of your phone. It has a raised lip on the front as well as around the camera bump on the back, and because of the natural material that is just interwoven into the case, you can see these little bumps. Those aren't plastic. That's actually just some of the natural material that is in this case, and they have a little bit of a harder feel to them, which gives it a texture. So the material is soft touch, like it has a nice smooth finish to it, but then you have those interwoven in there, which gives it a little bit more of a tactile texture to it. I really like this case. Of course, the eco-friendly aspect is huge for me, so I very much like it. Check out the Pela case for the iPhone 13 line. Now let's check out a trio of cases from Lifeproof. From Lifeproof, we have the Next case here up front, followed by the Wake case here in the center, and the C case here on the far right. And they are all made of varying degrees of recycled materials. Let's look at each of them just a little bit closer. The most protective is the Next case, and it is made of 45% recycled materials. It comes in two different pieces. There's the clear back panel here, as well as the colored edge. That has more of a rubberized feel to it. All the buttons and ports are covered up, including little things like the toggle switch here on the side and even the grills here towards the bottom. That's what makes this case not just drop proof from up to 2 meters, but dust proof as well. This is definitely the most protective of the Lifeproof lineup. Here's the case on my phone, and when you do put this on, make sure you get things clean, because if you have a piece of dust in the bottom, it makes it a pain in the butt to try to clean it out, because you do have to completely remove it using a coin or some sort of flat tool to get this open. But it is definitely the most protective, and it has a really great look to it. As far as protective cases go, it's nice and minimalistic, and I like the color pops along the outside. It was hard to tell while on the phone, but this does have rubberized coatings inside of all of those little openings. So we have the camera opening there. It's got like a rubber or silicone seal around it to help prevent dust from getting into the back. Unlike other clear cases, as long as you put this on without dust here, you shouldn't get dust in the back of your phone, which should make it look better than many other clear cases on the market. Then we have the Wake case. What makes the Wake case so awesome is it is made of 85% recycled plastic in this case. And I do love the textured wake pattern here on the back. It has a cool color in this kind of forest green with contrasting light green buttons on the outside. Now the buttons do feel nice because they're actually free floating, so they move around in here, which isn't exactly something easy to catch on camera, but because they are free floating, you're not pushing in the plastic itself, it makes the buttons feel super tactile when they are on your phone, like you're actually pushing Apple's buttons. A lot nicer than just when it covers them up completely, and they can be a little bit harder to press. So I do like the button work on this case. It is still protective, up to 2 meters of drop protection. You can see those ridges on the inside, and overall I think it is a good looking case when we clip it on to our iPhone 13 here. A really nice looking one, very drop protective as well as eco-friendly. Unfortunately, neither this one nor the next case works with MagSafe. But fortunately, that is cleared up with our third case, which is the Lifeproof C case. So this case does have the MagSafe component here on the inside. They're using actual MagSafe components from Apple. They are buying this piece here from Apple, not sourcing it on their own. One of only a few companies that are actually using Apple's official MagSafe components. Unfortunately, it doesn't look as good here on the inside just because it's got this large plastic insert. It doesn't look as nice, but this is going on your phone, so you're not really going to ever see that. This case is made from 45% recycled materials. Compared to the next case, I said earlier that that one had 45%. The next case, the first one we looked at, is 50%. This one is only 45%, possibly just because we have these internal MagSafe components that are not recyclable. They're just, magnets that can be reused again, but it's not a recycled component that went into it. So that could be why we have a slight decrease in the recycled plastic material on the C case. They still say it is drop protected from 2 meters, the same as the other two Lifeproof cases. There's a good edge and lip around the phone itself with this case on there. Still the extremely tactile buttons. We have free access to the toggle switch on the side. We have access to the ports here at the bottom. Overall, a very handsome looking case. There's extra grip protection here too. There's rubber material on this side versus the harder plastic shell on the back. So it makes it a little bit harder to drop when you're holding it. The Lifeproof C case. Next up is the Rifle Paper Company. Rifle Paper Co. says this is made from plant-based materials. It has MagSafe built in. You can see the print on the outside and then the magnets here on the inside. The artwork is printed on the back of this case, and I have always been a fan, and I will say it 1,000 times in these videos, but I really like the effect of being able to see your phone and then the print on the outside. I'm not saying the red goes with this case, but it does look really neat when you can see your iPhone on the inside of those printed materials, and there's just a few companies that do them like this, and I'm absolutely a fan. There are big raised lips, like very elevated lips that are maybe a little hard to see, but on these corners here around the camera bump, all have those extra lips, which makes them even more drop protective because those raise up just a little bit. I like that a lot on this case. But yeah, this is the Rifle Paper Company cases with MagSafe support for iPhone 13. Let's take a peek at Nomad. Nomad has a few styles of cases this year for the iPhone 13 lineup. This case here is their standard modern leather case. It has Horween leather on the outside, the injected TPU materials for the frame of the case itself, and then a microfiber lining on the inside. As you can see by that ring, this case does support MagSafe, which is going to go great with any MagSafe accessories or Nomad's own line of magnetic-enabled chargers, of which the base station hub was just updated to include new magnets on the inside. When we go ahead and put this onto our phone, you can see what it looks like. It's a very slim case. I like how thin it is, nice leather accents. It's a little bit more bulky than Apple's other cases. I kind of wish it was a little slimmer like Apple's, but this is for sure more protective. On top of that, their new cases have built-in support for Pela, which is a digital business card. So someone else can take their iPhone and tap it on the bottom of your iPhone, and it's going to initiate a little pop-up on their phone that'll show your digital business card with links to your social media, resumes, anything like that. So you can use it for social influence, you can use it for business, you can use it just to share your Twitter handle, anything like that. So lots you can do with those digital business cards that are built in to these cases. Nomad also has a folio and their new sport cases, but the modern leather case still has to be my favorite. Let's check out CaseMate for iPhone 13. CaseMate calls this their soap bubble case, and you can probably tell why. It looks like the rainbow outside of a soap bubble. It's this really kind of reflective, neat looking case, and they should have been updated to support Apple's MagSafe technology. But it isn't just a cool looking case. This case also has 10 feet of drop protection built in, and is made from plant-based materials and has antimicrobial properties to make it even more resistant to building up dirt and grime on your phone. It's a very simple clear case just with kind of this rainbow look to the back of it, which I think is a nice touch on your typical clear case. Like other cases that we saw from the same manufacturer, CaseMate does have elevated corners. So we looked at this with the Rifle Paper Company. You can see those elevated corners there just a little bit, which makes it so the back doesn't get damaged or scratched as much, and if you should drop it on a corner, it's going to be more likely to protect your phone and take that impact into the case itself. So this is the soap bubble case from CaseMate, update for the iPhone 13 with MagSafe. It's time to check out Speck. Here it is, the Speck Presidio Perfect Clear Case, one of the best clear cases for your iPhone on the market. The Presidio Perfect Clear from Speck now supports MagSafe, as you can tell by that emblem there on the back, and they say it has a clear guarantee, which means no matter what, no matter how often you use it, it's not going to yellow in the sun by UV rays like many other cheap clear cases do. They only last for a finite amount of time before they start to take on that yellow color, and nobody wants that. It just looks awful. This is not going to yellow on you. It also has a built-in microban, which is their material that they use to help keep away germs. So basically an antimicrobial coating on this case so it doesn't get as grubby as you hold on to it. We're going into flu season. You don't want germs and everything like that. I know it's not going to kill everything. It's not going to kill viruses, just bacteria, but still, it does something to help keep your case clean, which is better than nothing at all. They say this has 13 feet of drop protection, which I think is pretty darn great. Now, as far as the case material goes, all clear back, crystal clear. The sides are slightly frosted, as you can kind of tell. Just a little bit of a frost to them. Now this is more rounded. So the iPhones now, they have these flat sides, these sharper angles. This is more rounded from the back to the side. It's more of a curve to it, and it feels more like an iPhone from a couple generations ago. It isn't bad, it isn't good. It's kind of maybe a preference thing on if you like it. I actually like how this case feels in my hand as I'm holding the phone. So this might be a very good case for you. I like that it has more drop protection than many other clear cases out there, and that it's never going to yellow on you. This right here, the Speck Presidio Perfect Clear Case. The Pelican Protector Magnetic. I think this is a very nice looking case. The Pelican Protector Magnetic version has micropel on the outside to kill off bacteria, has built-in magnets in there, as you can see, so it will work with Apple MagSafe, and they say it has 15 feet of drop protection built in, which is great, and it has a lifetime guarantee. On the phone, it has fairly minimal flare, which could be what you're looking for. You can see there's a little bit of a texture pattern. There's like these lines that go here and here with a Pelican name, other than just kind of some flashy little lines on there. I can hardly say flashy because it's a matte black case, but it looks nice and a surprising amount of drop protection. This is such a slim case, and I am shocked that they're able to offer as much drop protection as they offer, as well as lifetime guarantees, non-slip grips, antimicrobial properties, just so much stuff going into this case for such a minimalist body, which I really do appreciate. If you guys like this, check it out, the Pelican Protector Magnetic version. This is the new Grip2U Slim, which is ultra slim compared to the other Grip2U cases. This is a clear one to snap on the outside of your phone, and of course, Grip2U's biggest thing is it has a built-in grip. These swappable ridges here can be changed out for many different colors, but slide your fingers in, and now you have a more secure grip on your iPhone. Flip and twist and do whatever you need to do, and you're not going to lose your phone. So if you're taking a lot of photos or you're texting one-handed, it makes it really easy to contour and move around without having to worry that your phone's going to go flying because you have such a secure grip on the phone itself. And I like that you can change these for different colors so it can represent your style at least a little bit through different colors, even if you keep the case the same, or swap out the case and completely mix it up. These I'm not 100% sold on. I don't know about the grips on these, and honestly, I prefer MagSafe. So it's nice to have the grip built in, and I think it works really well. When I have my fingers in here, the case isn't going anywhere. Like, this is extremely secure holding onto my phone, even more secure than a pop socket or anything like that. But I would prefer to be able to use MagSafe, and when this is on the back of your phone, it doesn't allow you to use MagSafe. So if you like the idea of a grip and a clear case all built into one with some personalization options, then this is a stellar option. It also has antimicrobial properties built into there. I just would like to have MagSafe support. For what it's worth, this is so slim that it still supports wireless charging. So even though MagSafe support isn't here, wireless charging still works without issue. This is the sheath case from Caudabe. Caudabe's whole tagline is minimalist perfection, and that pretty accurately describes what their cases are. They're ultra minimalistic but offer solid protection. It's basically just what you need without anything else. So this is the Sheath case, which it doesn't really have a logo on the inside, but it does support MagSafe. So it does support MagSafe in this version, and it has this textured grip along the outside. It's been drop tested up to 2 meters, and it feels very secure on your phone. It's got a really tight grip, not at all loose. So it feels like it's almost like a glove when it is on your iPhone. And it's kind of funny because the material itself feels like okay, but when it's on your iPhone and it feels so tight, it's almost like you would just dipped your iPhone into like a textured material. It feels like part of your iPhone. It doesn't feel like there's much of a case on it. It just has like this textured grip to the outside, and it's kind of neat. So I do appreciate these cases. You can see that a little bit of texture going on. We have the raised bump around the camera, just enough so to elevate it so those lenses don't get scuffed or anything when you set it down. And there is a lip around the front as well. Just overall, it almost makes your phone just look like a matte black version of itself. I love this case and that it was updated to work with MagSafe. Now, on top of that, Totallee offers screen protectors as well. These are tempered glass screen protectors, and what I particularly like about them is the black edge. It's very white on the camera, but you have a clear glass screen protector and then a black edge. And it's a little bit of a rounded edge too, so it doesn't feel sharp. I have used it on my phone for some time, and I love glass screen protectors versus just the cheap plastic ones. They hold up much better, they're more protective for your phone, and they feel like more you're interacting with the screen of your device. But with this black edge there, it makes it look even more seamless by completely blending into your phone and the black bezel that is around the outside. So no matter the color of your iPhone, this is going to blend in. I like glass screen protectors a lot, and very few do these black borders. So I very much applaud Caudabe for their tempered glass screen protectors for the iPhone 13 line. Here are 2 cases from Raptic. Raptic, previously known as Xteria, has a few cases for the iPhone 13 line, and here I am looking at the Terrain case, this here with the frosted glass back or the frosted plastic back, and the Air case is very thin, minimalist one on the right. Let's take a look at them both. So the Terrain case has 10 feet of drop protection. It is a very environmentally friendly case. Now, a lot of cases that we look at that say they're compostable, they will break down in composting bins, and this will as well. But they've also tested it in standard landfill environments. So if you just throw this in your garbage, how much is it going to break down? In their testing a landfill environment, it broke down 22.2% after only a year, compared to the possibly thousands of years for standard bioplastics to actually break down. So even though you don't compost this, like compost it if you can, but if not, it is still going to break down in the landfill, which I very much understand that they tested that and others have not. So I love that about this case. It still has 10 feet of drop protection built in, which is also very good. So not bad drop protection, thin case, and it's got like a two-tone finish on the back. You can see how it's frosted for most of it, but then the edges are clear, giving a little bit of a unique look. And then we have extra grip and bumps down the side. So it's kind of like a rubbery material, but it also just has a little bit of grip built in. I will say the buttons feel a little spongy because you are just pressing in on the rubberized sides of this versus tactile buttons. They have little dots, so you can feel them easy enough, but it just makes the buttons feel a little squishy compared to the hard tactile feel of Apple's excellent metal buttons. The Air case is even more protected than the Terrain case, going up to 13 feet of drop protection. What makes it unique is these metal accents. So they have anodized aluminum on the top and the bottom of this case. So when you're dropping these, if that should happen, that metal is going to help absorb part of that impact as well as look nice. It is just a nice metal accent to go with the largely plastic case of the phone. They do say that this will resist scratches as well as yellowing compared to cheap cases that we've already talked about. It has a good kind of like, it's hard to describe, but it's smooth and a little bit grippy, almost like a silicone-y feel, but not too much. So a standard silicone case is going to grab everything from dust and lint to the inside of your pockets when you try to remove the case. This isn't going to do that. It's smooth enough, but it has extra grip when you're holding on to it. So hopefully you don't drop it in the first place. The buttons, again, same stuff. I just wish they were a little more tactile. They just kind of blend in a little bit, the little bumps, the little nubs there, but they don't feel as good as pressing the actual buttons themselves. Let's talk about Zagg. This is the Denali case in black from Gear 4, which is one of the Zagg brands. There's this neat pattern along the back, and this kind of cross pattern reminds me a little bit of the Native Union cases that I've seen in the past, but all out of this kind of silicone material. This is a two material case, a dual layer case at least. We have this D3O material that is very drop protective on the inside. Then there's like this flexible material on the edges, and then a harder outer material. So there's multiple layers of protection built in on your phone, which is why they're able to offer 16 feet of drop protection when you encase your iPhone 13 in the Denali case from Zagg and Gear 4. It's a fairly minimal case when it's on, it just all looks black, but there is that little accent here at the bottom protected by D3O. That's that material that we talked about that can be molded into cases and has been pretty much exclusively used by Gear 4 and Zagg. It's kind of one of their, it's not their material, their company, but it's like one of their signature things that you see in all of the Gear 4 cases that make them so minimalist yet drop resistant. For what it's worth, the case includes recycled plastics and has an antimicrobial treatment on the outside. Here is a fun case from Casetify. Casetify is pretty much iconic for one thing, and that is this ring of logos around the camera module. You'll see people holding these cases, and they'll hold them like this, which is where a lot of logos lie. But with Casetify, they put it right there around that camera bump, and you see it anytime someone is using a Casetify case because it's always right there around the camera. Pretty smart on their part for marketing purposes. But their cases are also very good cases. They're very protective. You can see a little bit of the texture on the inside. That's actually like a waveform pattern, which is the grip or the extra shock absorption on the inside case. So it's smooth on the outside, but that textured wave on the inside is what's going to protect your phone should it drop. These cases here, it's printed on the back. Now they have tons of different patterns on basically a standard stock case, and you can do fun things like customize them. You could put your name into their different cases and everything like that. So whether you're looking to get your own case made or buying for a gift, it's cool to be able to customize the cases that you're getting. Additionally, they have a ton of branding opportunities with big brands. So while this is just this kind of nifty looking subway line looking case, which I still like, they have other ones that are collabs between Disney and Pokemon and Coca-Cola. So there's a lot to like with the Casetify cases. I do wish this supported MagSafe because as you can see, it's completely clear and there is no MagSafe module to be found. So while it will support wireless charging, there's no MagSafe here. But Casetify does make some MagSafe compatible cases, so still worth checking out. This case is from Rockform. This here is Rockform's rugged case for the iPhone 13. It is almost like a carbon fiber-like material on the outside, though it's not. It's definitely a print. It's all in material, so it's not a carbon fiber or Kevlar or anything like that. It's definitely just a textured plastic on the back, but it's still a very rugged case. And there's one thing that makes Rockform so unique and why people keep coming back to the brand time after time, and that is their own magnetic system. What's so amazing here is they've re-engineered these cases so they work with MagSafe. So your MagSafe charger, your MagSafe stand mounts will work with the Rockform case. But they have an inner magnet here that can be removed as well. And there's a magnet towards the bottom. So it can be used with all of these various Rockform magnetic and rugged locking mounts that the company already makes. So you have full support for MagSafe as well as the company's magnetic and secure mounts. Here's just a few of the different mounts that are out there, and I have tried several of them and they're awesome. So some are pretty basic, like these here at the top, that are just standard magnets. But then others, like these, actually tie into that secure magnet in the center. That middle piece will come out. It'll come out of this and allow you to use those more secure mounts. So if you're doing something like riding a bike, riding a motorcycle, anything when you want a stronger grip on your phone than just what MagSafe or a magnet would allow, that's where Rockform's super strong magnetic mounting system comes into play. Here's Totallee. Totallee is generally known for one style of case, and that is as minimalist as can be. And that's what we have here with this Totallee case. It's a completely clear frosted piece of plastic that is extremely thin for your phone. When on your phone, it's almost more of a cover than a case. It's that minimalist on your phone. You can barely even tell that it's there except for the fact that this is frosted and not just completely clear. It does give you an elevated bump around the cameras and around the front of your phone, just a little bit. So when you set it face down, you're not going to hurt the screen of your phone. When you put it back down, you're not going to risk scratching those camera modules. So this is as minimalist as it gets for an actual plastic case for your phone. They come in multiple colors. So this is the frosted white. There's also blue and a few like black, stuff like that. So you can outfit this a little bit to your liking, but either way, these are just minimalist ones to help protect your phone from scratches and light falls, though they're not going to protect you too much if it's a high fall or happens to land right there on the screen. This is a new case from Casely. This is the Casely Bold case, and you can tell from that bold printed pattern here on the outside. These cases have a bunch of fun textures and colors that are really going to win some people over. They're not going to be for everyone. Like, I'm not sure everyone wants a cow print on the back of their iPhone, but there's some very vibrant, fun colors that you can get from Casely to outfit your phone with. They're just very bold and eye-catching, which is what I love about this series of cases. Now, the Casely Bold has been updated, so now it works with MagSafe, so you can use any of your MagSafe accessories with any of these cases. These are really protective cases that I found. I've used them quite a bit, and what's nice is on the sides, they have this added grip here. It's this part right where your fingers go, and it's a lot of grip, like a lot. It's not subtle at all, and it allows you to just hold onto your phone better. Compared to something that just maybe have like a rubbery material or a little bit of a bump, this is very, very grippy. I found this to be super strong when you're trying to hold your phone. Like even just a light grip can make sure this doesn't go anywhere compared to some of the other cases. So I like that they're really helping you not drop your phone in the first place, because even if you drop it and it protects your phone, you could still get a scratch in your case. No one wants that, so I like they have that extra grip built in. Other than that, we do have that raised edge around the camera, but the whole back is flat now. So there is no camera bump, it's just a slightly thicker case. So if you have it on its back, it doesn't wiggle. There's no moving around. It's completely flat on the back of the case. Flat side as well with a substantial, this is a pretty big lip on the front. It's very hard to see because it's all black on black, but there's a big lip on the front of this case for when you have it sitting face down on the table. Let's check out an army of cases from Otterbox. Hard to do a case roundup of the best cases without including Otterbox in that list. This, of course, is the Defender. This is tested for 4 times the military standard of phone cases. It does come with a holster, so you can use this or not use this, but if you'd like, you have a holster. It can rotate around with this clip, so you can put on your belt either horizontally or vertical, whichever is nice for you. Then your phone slides in and clips into place. So a lot of construction workers, have a couple of friends who are literally like roadside engineers, and these are the cases that they love because it has a holster, it's super protective, again, around all that equipment. So if that is someone like you and you need a most protective case, then Otterbox Defender should be high on your list. This is the Defender Pro, which I like even a little bit better. You can see we have this additional material on the inside for added drop protection. Very rugged, durable case. Of course, the Otterbox Defender, it is a multi-part makeup, so you do have to like remove things like this outer material first to get to the plastic shell on the inside. Then once you get to the shell comes apart into 2 pieces with clips around your phone. So it's going to be very well protected inside of this case. And the ports are even covered. There is a cover there at the bottom on the lightning port. So while this case is on, there's no debris going to get into the lightning port. You have to lift that up to access it. So for the most protection, the Defender Pro from Otterbox. The OtterPop Symmetry case for iPhone 13. Dropbox basically worked with pop sockets to integrate a pop socket onto the back of its Symmetry series case. So Symmetry is one of the most customized cases in the Otterbox lineup. You often see it with Disney patterns and all sorts of fun stuff with this style case, but now we have a pop socket built right in. With a pop socket on your phone, makes it easy to hold onto it, added some extra grip to your phone while you are using it. And because it's built into your phone, it makes it a little bit easier. It's more of a flat back, so it's not as bulbous as it would be if you were just using the pop socket on its own. And these are still swappable, so if you push in and twist, you can go ahead and change the pop socket to one of your choosing if you don't like the color that it came with, or if you happen to pick up another one that you like. With the pop socket built in, it also adds some standing abilities. You can use it to prop your phone up sideways when you're kicking back and watching a video. Then there's the Symmetry Plus, so another variant on the popular Symmetry case, but the Symmetry Plus has MagSafe built in. So you have MagSafe support here in the back and very textured sides. So smooth back, but rubbery, very rubbery on the sides of this phone. So it's going to help you prevent dropping it in the first place. The color's kind of cool too. It works well with the red iPhone that I got here, but there are of course other colors available that I don't have. Beyond the fancy styles is the basic Symmetry case. So the basic version does not have MagSafe, which is a very, very big bummer for me, but this is just the stock Symmetry case. So it still has the rubber around the edges, plain back. Sometimes you'll see these patterned or designed, like they released the new Disney 50th version, which is very cool, but they don't support MagSafe, and they're just kind of more the basic ones. These are still popular because of how thin they are. They're pretty much one of the thinnest cases that Otterbox makes, and they still have 3 times the drop test standard compared to other cases. As a bit of a mix between the Symmetry and the Defender line is the Commuter case. So it's a little bit more protective. I think they're not promising any more protective capabilities, but it has a dual layer design here compared to just the single snap-on case of the Symmetry. Symmetry just seems a little newer, more fun. They do say this works with MagSafe, though I'm kind of surprised because it is a fairly thick case, so I'm guessing it's going to support wireless charging, but not a lot of mounts. I don't see any magnets built into here, so I would not count on this holding your iPhone 13 with a mount, but your MagSafe wireless charging should work just fine through this case. Still has the added grip because you can see this rubbery, flexible material on the inside and the harder outer material. This is made of 33% recycled plastic, which I'm always happy to see. With that, we get to the Strada case. It's our grand finale. Strada! This one still does not work with MagSafe, but holds a special place in my heart in Otterbox's lineup. It is a folio style case, and as you can see, we have some very nice leather on the outside there. I like that. Little metal accent that just says Otterbox here on that left-hand side. Well, I guess on the right-hand side when you're looking at the case itself. It closes magnetically, so it'll hold itself shut as you close it, and there's a little bit of a lip at the center allowing you to open the case as you need to. So you got a lip there to open it, though this blends in a little bit more. So the top and everything is a little more seamless. You can't really open it from there, but you can right there from the center. The outside here has 2 card slots. You can put something like an ID in a card or 2 credit cards. So you have some options to hold some stuff on the inside. There is no pocket like we see on some other folio cases, but I just always like the leather that they use on these. I wish it supported MagSafe. It'll support wireless charging, just not MagSafe this time around. Here's the updated cases from Moment. Moment has a whole array of new cases for the iPhone 13 line. Unfortunately, they are not yet shipping. When they do, I will be sure to give you hands-on. But right now, they only have their basic cases for the iPhone 13 that have not changed much in the past year. They do support Apple MagSafe as well as all the M-Force mounts from Moment itself. There's all sorts of vent mounts and tripod mounts and fun stuff that you can do with these cases or with just MagSafe in general. They still feel nice and flexible, and they are protective on your phone. They have a swappable lens mount though. This here can be replaced out with an actual lens mount that'll hold on to any of the Moment lenses that you may have. It is very handy to improve the quality of your shots when you're shooting on your iPhone. They have a little bit of a textured back, and there are little lanyard attachments at the bottom. So if you want to add like a little wristlet, anything to help hold onto your case, you can do so with the updated Moment cases. Let's look at Smartish. To this day, I'm not sure if I always include this case because I like the case itself or because I love the name so much. But this is the Gripmunk case from Smartish. We have a black accent around the camera bump itself. It's elevated a little bit, and it's elevated on the front, so you're not going to hurt your screen in any way. There are slight depressions along the side, which is where it gets its name because it adds some extra grip to the phone case itself. They say it is super grippy, which does make sense. Now there is the Gripzilla case from Smartish that has even deeper grips down the side, which I would think is even more of a Gripmunk case than this one is, but this is a little bit more of a subtle version for people who maybe don't want as extreme of a grippy phone case. Now, this new one does support MagSafe, which I love, as you know. So full MagSafe support here, add your wallets, your mounts, anything like that. These things are otherwise a solid, reliable case, and they're fairly cheap compared to some other ones that we've looked at. Here's an array of cases from Cyrill. So Cyrill is the more feminine brand of Spigen. So Spigen stuff tends to trend very masculine, rugged, durable, and the Cyrill line, they're usually prettier, fun cases. And that's what we're seeing here. So the first one up is the Cecile case. You guys have known about my affinity towards these clear cases that show through to your phone. That's what we have here. The biggest downside for me is no MagSafe, so it's an immediate no. But as long as you don't care about MagSafe, they have some cool patterns that I like. So this is the Cecile clear case from Cyrill. On top of that, we move on to the color brick cases, which I think look nice. They're like almost like these pastel colors. There's a blue one here as well that I had, but they are this matte finish. They feel very nice. I like the tan earth tones around your camera modules there. They're very simple, pretty cases that I like a lot. The biggest downside, again, is just no MagSafe. If these supported MagSafe, these would be high up on my buy list because they've just done a classy job on such a simple case, and I like the colors a whole lot. Finally, that brings us to their color or their leather brick cases. So we had the Cecile, the color brick, and now leather brick. And this is my least favorite of the bunch, unfortunately. I don't particularly like this case because I hate the feel of the leather. It almost feels like plasticky. It's soft, but just kind of feels plasticky, and I just don't like it. I'm also just not a fan of this weird brown TPU material on the outside. I would lean more towards the other Cyrill cases if you're looking at Cyrill. And if you want a leather one, check out one of the better leather goods company. This is just a budget leather case, and I'm not a big fan of it, but that's just me. If you like the style, it doesn't hurt to try one out. This case is for Spigen for the iPhone 13. Spigen has a lot of cases, and my favorite one this year is their Ultra Hybrid Mag, which is the only one of their big lineup that includes support for MagSafe. You can still see there's protective material on the outside of the case, but it is a very clear case for your iPhone, very simple, minimalistic case. I like clear cases. I think they look great, and I love that it works with MagSafe here. So if you're looking for a clear case and you want one that's ultra budget friendly, check out Spigen. If you also don't care about MagSafe, check out the rest of the Spigen lineup. There's some with integrated kickstands, some with built-in wallets, a lot of really neat things. But I just want to highlight that they should be supporting more MagSafe, and I hope to see it in more of their cases going forward. Here are a few cases from Moshi for the iPhone 13. Moshi has an excellent eye for detail, and that is all on display with its Overture case. As you can see here, it is a great looking case, and it's a 3-in-1 with a case, wallet, and stand all built in together. Has a nano shield on the outside and antibacterial coating, and has military grade drop protection. So let's look at the case. Little touches, like the metal button here at the bottom, just that little metal logo gives it just a higher little bit of class than a cheaper case. Of course, it is all a leather case on the outside, and it's a two-tone leather. So we have this lighter material here, then warm brown leather on the inside of the case. The case itself comes out, so you can remove the case as you need it, leaving you just the folio. So if you don't need your wallet portion, you can take out the case, which has a matching pink leather back or natural leather back. So you can take this case with you with the little metal looking accents on the outside, very nice protective case, use this, or bring it back and put it inside the folio. It just holds in magnetically. You have 2 card slots here as well as an additional pocket on the inside. Now this can use as a stand, as I mentioned, so to do so you take it and you pop it up halfway and you prop it up like this. Without a phone inside does not matter too much, but it'll allow you to kick back and watch the latest episode of Mythic Quest or whatever it is that you're going to watch. So built-in stand, wallet, case, everything into the Overture. Not only does it come in this natural pink looking material, but there is a black version as well. This is Moshi's Ultra case. So Ultra with an A in this case. Now there's basically a fabric back to the case, and then this raised rubber material printed on top, which gives it a neat bit of texture and depth because of that two-layer makeup. Has this diamond pattern along the outside, similar pattern to what we saw with the Overture case on its standalone case, with these metal accent buttons on the outside. Now they do feel fairly tactile. They are more tactile than a standard button that was just covered over like some of the earlier ones we saw in the video. So I do like how the buttons feel in this case, very similar to Apple's own buttons on the iPhone without a case added to it. What makes this case so unique is this little latch here at the bottom where you can attach a lanyard. One is included in the box and it is color matched. So if you have like this dark blue black looking case, there is a dark blue black lanyard to go with. So it go on there, swivel around, have a better hold on your phone, not going to get stolen or dropped or anything like that because you got it tied to your wrist. So very handy to have that built in. The Ultra case has a nano shield technology, includes the wristband, and supports wireless charging, though not MagSafe, unfortunately. Now there are other color options. There is a pink rose color and a tan option. So the full gamut from more feminine to neutral to masculine, whatever it is that you're looking for, Moshi has a few options available. Time for my favorite two Moshi cases, which is the Arx Clear and the Arx case. They're both awesome on their own, so it's kind of hard to pick one that I would most recommend, but I lean towards the Arx Clear. It's a pretty simple case. I like that they use a silver print for the MagSafe logo versus a white one, which is what most people do. Subtle thing, but I appreciate that little added detail. Buttons are very easy to click, though not as easy to click as the other Moshi cases. They're like soft touch buttons, but they don't quite have the same feel, and I'm not sure why. Then we have the Arx case, which is very similar to the Arx Clear, but there's this back on it, and I don't know how to describe it. I will tell you that it is smooth. This is a smooth material, but it's almost like those holographic things you see as a kid, but it's reflecting light in different ways to make it look like it's corrugated, but it's just very smooth. So it's a really neat light effect that is going on here with the Arx case. And this one also supports MagSafe like the Arx Clear. So both of these do support Apple MagSafe, which is just always a huge feature that I'm going to continue to tout in all these case reviews. Other than that, this is their more simple cases, still lots of drop protection, the antibacterial coating on the outside. I just really like the look of both of them. I like the silver accents here, and I like this reflective layer here. Lastly, we have the Moshi iGlaze series, which is, it reminds me of like a mirror texture on a cake. There's tiny little reflective particles inside of these cases that give them a little bit of a shimmering look, and they're exquisite. There's still a lot of the other features we see with all of the other Moshi cases, military grade drop protection, wireless charging support, soft touch buttons on the outside, they have like the little metal accents. They're very good looking cases, and they come in a bunch of different colors. This is my favorite, this dark blue combined with the dark blue on the outside. I think it looks great. Other options include, of course, there's a clear one, there's a clear iGlaze, then there is a pinkish rose one, you can see there, and all these in-person shimmer just a little bit. So this is like a pearl color, it's got a little bit of a yellow to it, otherwise it's white. Pearlescent here, we're really giving off the vibes with that one. And then we have a light blue option with a tan edge. Still, I really like this dark blue one. I think it looks the best out of all of them. But the iGlaze cases are super cool. Unfortunately, they do not support MagSafe, which is the biggest downside to them. Okay, so that does it. Those are all of the cases for the iPhone 13 that I wanted to show off today. There are, of course, others more continue to be released. I may have more in the future, but check out the linked article if you want to try and check for links and deals to any of the cases shown off in this video, and let me know what your favorite case is down below in the comments.